Welcome back to another segment of the DLA in the News.
Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. The DLA guru is back in the building. Yes, indeed. Hitting these YouTube streets here on our pre-scheduled live stream that is dedicated to our Brigadier General and Patreon members. Yes, today is the day for you guys to cam up and mic up for closed circuit training with yours truly, the DLA guru, to talk anything and everything related to the DLA. But before getting into today's agenda, I just want to tell you guys, I am so glad to be back here in these YouTube streets. I've been away for a little bit. I've just been kind of working our core businesses as well as participating with a conference this week. So I've been really, really busy just trying to get the toolage in order to deliver more valuable content to all of my subscribers and all of the folks that are tuning in and tapping into what the DLA guru is cooking in order to empower you for success with the DLA. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. Today, we're going to be talking a lot about, I know everyone's like, okay, what is this agenda about? The DLA guru is always kind of cooking some good stuff. Let's see, let's go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a snapshot of what today's live stream is going to be about. We're going to be talking about the top 3 techniques to increase your vendor base. I get a lot of emails and phone calls and one-on-one consults with student clients that are always asking me questions about, hey, we need to increase our vendor base because you guys got to be able to connect with vendors and OEMs in order to sell to the DLA. And I have some great nuggets to share with you guys today as it relates to how you can get this done. So as you guys know, if you are a Brigadier General or you are a Patreon member, today is your day. And so I have put in the community forum for both Patreon and YouTube just for your eyes only. So if you're a Brigadier General, go to the community forum tab here in YouTube and you will find a link that is unique to get you over here in StreamYard. Click that link, you'll come into my waiting room area and I'll have you in the waiting room while I do a public training that should last about maybe 20-30 minutes, depending on how long-winded I get. And for my Patreon members, if you guys are in the Patreon, on the Patreon app or on the Patreon website, you can click on the community forum tab as well. Click that link, that'll bring you over here in StreamYard. And as soon as I get a quorum of folks, 2 to 3 folks, hopefully, that sign up today or come in today, I should say, to the into the waiting room, then we'll go incognito and go over into the StreamYard where I'll be able to answer any and all questions related to DLA solicitations, opportunities, national stock numbers, you name it. You'll basically have full access to me to share any questions or comments and get one-on-one training for 2 hours. 2 hours today will be the time for you guys to connect with yours truly, the DLA group, to answer those questions. But before we get into the closed circuit training today, again, live stream agenda is about the top 3 techniques to increase your vendor. You know what? You can't. Here. I didn't have my mic going. All right. Looks like I had some comments in the comment there that were like, "Hey, your mic's not on." Okay, mic's on. I refreshed my computer because it was going really slow before the live stream, and so the mic wasn't turned on. So the mic's on. Hey, hit me with a 1 in the chat if you guys can now hear me. Hit me with a 1 because I did not have my mic on and I did not know that the mic was not on. So my apologies about that. If you guys cannot hear me, let me know. I won't proceed until I get some engagement in the chat. I need to know if you guys can hear me because I was unaware that my sound was not working. I had an update that happened with my computer, and guys, what happens with updates. Anytime you get an update, it seems like everything just goes haywire with updates. And I had an update right before the live stream. That's again why I'm a little bit late getting into here. It always seems like I try to get a refresh of everything so that my sound and the audio and the video feed works correctly. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Anybody in the building can just put a one down there in the chat to let me know you can hear me, because I don't see any one, so I don't know if you guys can hear me. But anyway, we got 4 concurrent viewers in the building. We got 4 likes, so I imagine you guys can hear me. If you can't hear me, feel free to drop me a comment in the chat there. Okay, good. I got some thumbs up that you guys can hear me. Fantastic. All right, yeah, you know, the DLA Guru, we build it while we fly it. But what I was saying when you guys couldn't hear me is that I have been away from these YouTube streets for about a little bit over a week or so. And I know I've gotten a few emails like, hey, DLA Guru, when you going live? I said, hey, I'll be going live pretty soon. This week has been a stellar week for me because I've been participating with a fantastic conference, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But today's live stream agenda is all about my Brigadier Generals and Patreon members. So if you happen to be a Brigadier General or a Patreon member, today is your day for our bi-monthly pre-scheduled live stream training where you can cam up and mic up with me over here in StreamYard and talk anything and everything related to the DLA for a whopping 2 hours today. So that is what your membership affords you. Fantastic, fantastic. So if you are in the streets there and you are tuning in to this live stream, you'll be, as a Brigadier General, go over to my YouTube, go over to the YouTube homepage, and in the community forum tab, you'll find a link that if you click it, it's strictly for Brigadier Generals. When you click that link, it'll bring you over here in StreamYard, and I'll have you in the waiting room. And if you are a Patreon member, the same will apply to you. You can log into the Patreon app or Patreon website, click the link that's in the community forum tab that will bring you over here in StreamYard. Once I get a quorum, typically I like to have 2 to 3 folks over here in the waiting room, and then we will then go closed circuit, incognito, where you and I will be able to talk anything and everything related to the DLA solicitations, national stock numbers, strategy, you name it, credit, you name it. We'll be able to talk that in order to help empower you for success with the DLA. But until that happens, I have a fantastic agenda for my public, in the public community, where you guys will learn a little bit about what my recommended top 3 techniques to increase your vendor base. Because without vendors, you can't sell products. And without great vendors and reliable vendors and vendors where you can get some wholesale pricing, you definitely cannot win with the DLA. So today's live stream will give you my top 3 techniques to increase your vendor base. But before getting into that, again, guys, techniques and tips. That's what today is going to be all about, techniques and tips. So you want to stick around because this presentation is going to be fire. But like I was telling you, this week has been a long week of education. The DLA Guru was a participant at the annual VID Summit convention. It was basically where creators go and learn from other creators about how to spread the good news about whatever industry that we're in. And you guys know the DLA Guru. I'm all about the DLA and government contracting. So I was in the building at VID Summit 2024 here in Dallas, Texas. As a matter of fact, it was at the Irving Convention Center. It's a 3-day convention. I mean, high powered. We had a lot of great trainers and content creators in the YouTubes. You hear these YouTube streets. I mean, we were graced with the likes of Dr. Kizzy Parks, Dr. Kawana Irving. We met so many people here in these YouTube streets, and we were able to kind of rub shoulders and share notes and figure out how we can collab and do what we do best to empower you for success with government contracting and that of the DLA. And yes, I just got to go ahead and throw that in. Yes, that is your boy, the DLA Guru, just giving my cameo shot at the VID Summit banner there. So I was really excited about being a part of that community. Guys, it was just fantastic to just hobnob with folks that have 100 million subscribers on their YouTube channels, and they're just killing it as from a global perspective of getting the word out about what they are good at and teaching the YouTube community about whatever it is that may interest you. So DLA Guru, I'm always about continuous learning and continuous improvement. So stick around. You guys want to connect with me because I am dead serious about trying to figure out how to do more for you, my subscribers, and empowering you for success with DLA. So for those of you who may be new to me, new to my content, my name is Kiwi Hendricks. I am the U.S. Government Sales Manager with the National Material Supply Company. And, I've been doing this for about 20 years or so. I've skipped my knee, bumped my head, and had plenty of successes in order to be coined the name the DLA Guru. So for those of you who may be new to me, new to my content, welcome to my YouTube channel. And I'm almost positive that you guys are going to love everything that I'm cooking. I have a fantastic catalog that I've been building over the past little bit over a year and a half now. I think we have over 230 videos that are packed with relevant content that's dedicated to helping to empower your business, small, medium, or large, for more and continued success with the world's largest customer, the Defense Logistics Agency. So, in order to be involved with me today, I am accepting any and all comments in the comment section for my subscribers. So if you have any comments during this presentation, feel free to drop a comment, but you got to be a subscriber to the channel, because I looked at my analytics and it looks like we have like 70% of my viewers are not subscribers. And I'm like, why people are not subscribing? This is excellent. It doesn't cost you anything. Just hit the subscribe button. But if you have a definite question in the public forum here that you want to drop into the chat, I will be fielding any and all questions, within reason, as it relates to DLA or government contracting. Feel free to hit the subscribe button and drop your comment in the chat there. And by all means, I love likes. Looks like we have 5 concurrent viewers and 5 likes. So thank you for the likes. I really appreciate the engagement, and so does YouTube. So likes are always a good thing. So I really appreciate that if you like what the DLA Guru is cooking. And by all means, share this this video link. So basically take it, if you're looking on your phone, share it with 3 or 4 of your friends, family, and business colleagues to let them know, hey, the DLA is a potential customer that you guys can have, and the DLA Guru is spilling the beans about giving you all the ins and outs and the high-level pointers about getting involved with servicing the world's largest customer, the Defense Logistics Agency. And by all means, hit that notification bell, because you don't want to be a day late and $1 short whenever I drop relevant content that's related strictly to empowering you for success with the DLA. So hit that notification bell as well. Now, okay, so you are here as a YouTube subscriber and you're saying, hey guys, I'm interested in learning more about the DLA. I know that I'm going to need vendors in order to be successful. And the DLA Guru, well, I'm always delivering something excellent to you guys. I got my 3 top techniques. Technique number one, and these are not in any order of priority, but these are some techniques that I highly recommend. These are techniques that I have employed in my own business. And this is what I teach student clients. This is what I teach my team internally in order to go out and just and meet new vendors. The first thing you want to do is attend manufacturing trade show events. This is paramount. Manufacturing trade show events. So let's say that you are interested in a particular OEM. Literally, you can go on their website. If it's not posted on their website, you can find contact information on the website. They typically have a customer service line that you can give them a phone call and let them know that you are interested in learning more about when they will be hosting trade events nationally. Now, if you can get one of those trade events or trade show events happening in your backyard, fantastic to you. That means cost of doing business is really low, because all you got to do is get in your car and drive to where it's at. But if you happen to have some of those conventions that may be in Las Vegas or Los Angeles or here in Dallas, I highly recommend you find out their schedule for trade show events, and you want to treat that like a career fair. That's where you go, the capability statement, you go with your mind with a myopic focus on meeting any representative of that particular organization, so that you can present who you are, your elevator pitch. You want your elevator pitch. You want to be able to pitch to that particular representative who you are. And that way you'll be able to connect and exchange information, and you just never know where they may take you. Now, of course, there's a lot that goes along with these trade show events, because they are designed for small business partners to meet potential OEMs. That is original equipment manufacturers. Original equipment manufacturers. That's very important when it comes to government contracting, because you want to get as close to the source as you can. And at these trade show events, these OEMs are always releasing new product releases. They are releasing information about what's new and great within their organization, the latest gizmo, the latest gadget that it relates to their company. And they're really, really excited about getting the word out. And they're always looking for new distributors that they may be able to work with to spread the word. That's where attending these manufacturing trade shows are golden. All right. Looks like, hey, we got a couple of questions in the chat that's popped up there. You know, guys, I always like to field some questions as I'm doing my presentation, so feel free to drop a question. We got Brother Erwin Santos. Do you need to be a manufacturer to be able to sell on DIBBS? Great question, Brother Erwin. Brother Erwin, great question. No, you do not need to be a manufacturer in order to sell on DIBBS, but I would recommend you have a relationship with a manufacturer to sell on DIBBS. And today's live stream is really talking about ways that you can finagle that and how you can become a part of that community, Erwin. So make sure that you stay close to this particular presentation, because we're going to be talking a lot more about how you can connect with those OEMs as well. All right, now back to the presentation. As far as technique number one, also you want to be affiliated with government-sponsored industry days. All right, government-sponsored industry days are paramount because, one, you're going to not only have government officials at those industry days, but you're also going to have OEMs at those industry days. All right, so this doesn't just relate only to the DLA. This will relate to any federal agency that you may be going after as it relates to products and or services. All right, so this is just something that's just not monopoly focused on the DLA, even though I'm the DLA guru. However, this is all about government contracting. Government-sponsored entry days provide a platform for small businesses to directly engage with procurement officials, learn about agency needs, and gain insights for upcoming government contracts. This is where they start talking about, like really long-term contract vehicles that may be coming down the pipe. This is where you hear a lot about the GSA type contracts, or the IDIQ, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contracts, or blanket purchase order agreement, BPAs. This is where you find information before it actually hits SAM.gov at these government-sponsored industry days. Now, you may say, well, where in the world can I find these sponsored industry days? Hey, guys, I'm just going to give you a quick example. Let me pull this up here. 1 second here. Let me pull this up on the screen. I want to make sure I get the right screen. You know, the DLA girl, I'm always building it while I fly it. But I want to show you where you can find out a little bit information about, the DLA, because everything we talk about over here in these streets is here about the DLA. But DLA on their website, as this will relate to any federal agency, they will have a small business outreach calendar. Now, different agencies may call it different, but the key word that you're going to be looking for is a industry day. All right. So I think probably like 90%, if not 100%, of federal procurement agencies utilize the terminology industry day. So if it's not populated on their website, DLA does a very good job for their small business outreach calendar. Let me go ahead and make this a little larger for those of you in the back. But you'll see that the DLA actually on September the 10th, which is next week, they will be hosting their Industry Collider Day. And so when I hover my mouse over it, pops up in here. But last year, I actually went and participated at the Industry Collider Day in Fort Belvoir, Virginia. It was a fantastic event. It's free for you to register and to go and hobnob with DLA officials. And you guys just wouldn't believe how many different OEMs were in the building. So not only was I hobnobbing with OEMs, hobnobbing with DLA officials, but I'm also learning a lot about what the DLA is really talking about. And it's all public information. It's free to join. So any type of agency that you're going after, and for those of you who are my DLA Knights, this is where you guys will want to go and kind of learn a little bit about what the DLA is about. Now, keep in mind, each Industry Collider Day or industry event may be focused on a specific category of concerns or issues that particular federal agency may have. So you want to just kind of keep your finger to the pulse, your ear to the track on what those industry days are like, because not all of them may apply to your business, but it's always good to have a conduit to knowing when these government-sponsored industry days are occurring. So again, if anyone is on the East Coast, in the the DC area, Virginia, DC, or anything like that, that's in your backyard. How great it is for you to connect with Industry Collider Day. I don't know if registration has ended, and no, I will not be participating with this particular industry day this year. Again, I was there last year. I just have been doing a lot of traveling. I'm back here in Dallas now, guys, so I just don't really have a lot of time to get to this particular Industry Collider Day. But it looks like they're going to be talking a lot about research and development. And I know last year they were talking about additive manufacturing and things of that nature. So this may be something that you may be interested in. And of course, the deal-led guru is always providing value. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the comment below, comment section. Go ahead and put the link. So feel free to click on that link and bookmark this site, because this is a fantastic site where the DLA is always updating their outreach calendar that gives you when the DLA is doing training or government-sponsored industry days. And it's always good to kind of have that in your hip pocket. Again, these events are great ways. I mean, when I tell you guys, these are a great way for you to network with both government buyers and manufacturers, which will help you build relationships and increase your visibility. Because a lot of times when you first meet a manufacturer or a government buyer for the first time, you're not going to hit a home run the first time. It's going to be it's an iterative process where you're always going to want to follow up until an opportunity presents itself. All right. So you want to get in the habit of just coming up with a process of the follow-up. All right. Grabbing a business card, sending a thank you email, waiting a couple of weeks, hitting them with a potential offer, waiting a couple of weeks, sending them another message and say, hey, don't forget about me. Anything coming up, anything that you need, or is there anything keeping you up at night? Here's my company capability statement. This is what we're able to do. Hey, can we cam up and mic up on a Zoom call so you can learn? You can learn more about our company and learn more about you. These are the types of techniques that you have to employ in order to increase your vendor base. This is how you do it. Because when vendors find out, or should I say OEMs, find out that you are serious. You are serious. You ain't playing no games, that you're really in this to win. That's when they'll say, hey, this company, they're not a fly by night. They're really ready to rock and roll with us. And let's make some money together. That's how you enter into the building. You have to kind of put the skin to skin. We are post-COVID. A lot of, you can still meet manufacturers and things virtually. There's still virtual industry days going on, but there's something about that, shaking hands and kissing babies that really is part of the human process of liking, trusting, and doing business. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And so that's part of attending these manufacturing trade shows and government-sponsored industry days. Hey, if you guys like some of this that the Deal Lady was cooking, throw me some fire emojis in the chat below. I would really appreciate that. Hey, and by the way, let me go ahead and throw my ticker on the screen there. If you're in the giving spirit, which, hey, you pay it forward, it always comes back tenfold. If you're in the giving spirit, as you'll see scrolling below, feel free to drop the DLA Guru a little something. You can drop me a little something in my pocket there. Feel free to shoot me Cash App, Venmo, and buy me a coffee. A lot of folks have been buying me coffees lately, which is fantastic because I love coffee. And feel free, if you like, to do a super chat. And if you do a super chat with your comment, I'll make sure that it gets posted on the screen, and I'll do a deep dive in any comment that you have when it's related to a super chat as well. All right, so moving on. Top tips for the number one or one of the top 3 techniques is when you're at these trade show events, when you're at these government-sponsored industry days, you want to prepare questions that demonstrate your understanding of the OEMs and the federal agency's mission. This is how you have an icebreaker. Like, let's say, that you're at an industry or trade show event, and there may be a particular manufacturer that has a booth, and they got pamphlets and, like little squeaky toys and all that kind of stuff, and ink pen and all the different kind of paraphernalia that you find at these particular trade shows. When you approach one of these OEM representatives, I should say, you want to make sure that you have done some homework. Like if it's a electrical manufacturer, if it's a manufacturer of plumbing products or things of that nature, you want to make sure when you engage with them, you're like, hey, I know you guys you've been in business this many years, and these are the markets you serve, and hey, we serve those markets as well, and we have a regional customer base or a local. Are we going after this federal contract, and it's a set aside for a company with our set aside our socioeconomic distinctions? We're interested in partnering with you and showcasing your product in front of the customer. Or hey, the customer is actually looking for a product that you manufacture, and we'd like to be a part of that. These are the discussions that you have when you're engaging with both OEM representatives as well as government procurement officials. You want to talk their lingo, because everybody is there to figure out, can you help me solve my problem? So this is what that's really all about. Another tip that I recommend, you want to follow up. I said that earlier. You want to follow up after the event with that particular government official and or potential partners to maintain relationships. Man, I'm telling you, the follow-up is a game changer. You may sometimes feel like, well, I don't want to be a bugaboo. I don't want people to spam me and put me in the spam box and block me and things of this nature. Hey, I'm not saying that you want to follow up every 10 minutes, but hey, what's wrong with following up once a week or maybe twice a month? Just always kind of keeping them in mind, finding out when their birthdays are, dropping them a birthday card in the mail, or sending them an email on their birthday or something of that nature. You have to find ways to continue to keep the lines of communication open. It's very, very important when you're looking to increase your manufacturing base and or connect with other government officials within those particular as it relates to the DLA within a particular command, whether it be DLA Land and Maritime, DLA Aviation, DLA Troop Support. These are some of the techniques that you want to employ. And people just, you want people to forget your name. Yeah, that's very key, very, very key. All right, hey, before going on to technique number 2, it looks like we have some folks kind of coming in and coming out. And for those of you who don't have time just to hear me talk it all the way through, because the DLA guru can be a little long-winded, because I get so excited about giving you guys all these nuggets, but you'll always be able to catch it on the replay as well. But for those of you who are still in the building, let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to drop them in the chat below, and I will be fielding questions because I can see them when they pop up on my screen here. So feel free to drop me a chat, and we'll move on from there. So technique number 2. Technique number 2, you want to partner with OEMs and tier 1 master distributors. All right, so within supply chain, there are levels. There's the OEM level, there's a tier 1, and then tier 2. Typically, companies like ours, we are more tier 2 than we are what we do. We are tier 1 with certain brands, but I would say our portfolio of vendors that we work with, we have more of a tier 2 position, because we like to work directly with the bigger master distributors that are basically responsible for certain territories. So territories between many manufacturers, like for example 3M. The DLA buys a ton of 3M products. All right, so 3M, if you go knock on their door, chances are they'll say, hey, we've been around for a very long time. Our supply chain is fairly robust, so we don't sell direct unless you're looking to buy a lot of product from us. So what they'll do is have you work with a tier 1 distributor. So if you're buying from a tier 1 distributor, then you become a tier 2 distributor, right? So being in the tier 2 distributor position is not a bad thing, but hey, if you can become a tier 1 distributor, that is the ultimate goal. Now, this is the number 2 technique, meaning that when you're partnering with OEMs and tier 1 master distributors, it is a strategic way to enter the government contracting space, especially for small businesses. All right. Many large OEMs like the 3Ms of the world, the Boeings of the world, Northrop Grumman's of the world, Raytheon, the list goes on, DuPont, the list goes on and on. These companies already hold massive government contracts. A lot of folks don't know this, that Amazon has government contracts. Jeff Bezos got rich through the federal government. It wasn't through us going on and trying to find the cheapest component that we can, product that we can find on Amazon. I mean, that's cash flow for Jeff Bezos, but the way that Jeff was able to get Amazon on the map was through government contracts. All right. A lot of it isn't really posted publicly, but a lot of these big Fortune 100 companies, they became that big because they are a supplier to Uncle Sam. All right. So just keep that in mind. So many large OEMs already hold government contracts and are required to subcontract a portion of their work to small businesses. So this is also something that is a great technique to have in your mind that will help to empower you as you are presenting a business case to OEMs that, hey, partner with me. And the best way in order for an OEM to see what you're talking about is if you have a socioeconomic distinction, whether you are a veteran-owned small business, woman-owned small business, hub-zone small business, whether you are 8A small business. If you are able to come with those distinctions under your belt, and not just say you are, but like you're connected to the SBA and you have it official and registered and recognized by the SBA, because that's how these agencies get the credit. They have to link it. You have to have the paper trail. You have to link it back to the SBA for them to get their federal tax credits that they will receive by partnering and subcontracting part of the work to small businesses. Very, very important. All right. This approach allows you to build experience and credibility while establishing relationships with key players in the industry. A lot of folks just don't understand how important that is. Hey, looks like we got a new member that just came in the building. I just want to throw that up on the screen. Hi, Eric. Pleasure. Thank you for becoming a member. I really, really appreciate you joining the DLA Vendor Network as a member. And, hey, man, plenty of value coming your way as well. So thank you, Eric. Thank you. Hey, guys, I would give you a round of applause, but my sound machine is not working for some reason today in order for you to give the applause. So I'll go ahead and give you a real applause versus an electronic applause. So thank you, Eric, for joining the DLA community. I really, really, really appreciate that. And hey, matter of fact, it doesn't tell me when you join as a member what level that you just joined at, because today, my friend Eric is for Brigadier Generals and Patreon members. So let me go ahead and go in here and refresh to see if you joined in as a Brigadier General or not. Well, it didn't pop up on here. It didn't. It shows you as a commander. All right, Eric. So yes, you are a commander level. Thank you, Eric, for joining us as a commander. Again, thank you. Hey, and it looks like I got another member that just came in here. All right, we got Reginald Hart. Reginald Hart has become a YouTube member as well. Reginald, congratulations to you. And it looks like that you came in as an enlisted member of the channel. Thank you guys for your support. I really, 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 really appreciate the support. That just kind of keeps the DLA guru going. And Brother Eric says, yes, it's been a long time coming. Brother Eric. Hey, you know what? Never late. You're never too late, man. You're just never too late. We're building it while we fly together, and I'm excited about you guys connecting with me and wanting to be a part of the DLA Vendor Network community that I'm creating, and I'm here to pay it forward for sure. So make sure that you're always engaging with me and getting as much value out of being a member of my channel as possible. Hey, there's a lot in store, so thank you again for your membership. All right, so back on to the presentation today. So as I was saying, partnering with original equipment manufacturers and tier 1 master distributors is paramount, all right? And there's a couple of tips to give you guys too. Tip number 1, you want to research OEMs working with agencies you're interested in. A lot of folks, think, okay, cool, this manufacturer they're in my backyard. I know they build things. I'm not exactly sure, if there's a connection to it. Hey, guess what? Get their information. Find out if this company has a cage code. Find out if that particular OEM has a UEI, if they're registered with SAM.gov. There are software tools that you can utilize, and I talk about it on my channel all the time. Intertech Inform is a fantastic third-party software solution that will provide you with the toolage to get in and know who these OEMs are. You know what, guys? I'm just going to do this off the fly. This wasn't even part of my presentation, but the DLA Guru is all about giving you guys some value. So what I want to do is just connect real quick. I'm going to log into Intertech Inform just to give you an idea of the power of being able to have access to a third-party software solution. Let's say, hey, Eric, I don't know if you have a manufacturer that you may have been looking at. You said, hey, it's been a long time coming, becoming a member of the channel. If there's a particular manufacturer that you're like, hey, man, I really would like to see if I can connect with this manufacturer, drop the manufacturer's name in the chat there, and I'll give you an idea of how you can do some of that research. When I say researching OEMs who work with agencies you're interested in, if Eric doesn't have one off the top of off the top of your head, I'm just going to type here. If you guys can see there, make it a little bigger for those in the back. I'm putting 3M in there because we talked about 3M earlier in today's presentation. And I'm putting 3M in there, and you'll see a lot of people don't know that 3M, the M stand for Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing. That's what 3M actually stands for. But by even just throwing in the company name in this particular software in Logicon, I'm able to get all the different branches of 3M that is recognized by the DLA. All right, looks like Eric. All right, Eric, you put 3M in there. All right, fantastic, man. Hey, like minds think alike. All right, so thank you for that. But so you can see that 3M has a lot of different divisions, and 3M is not just United States. I mean, looks like they're over in Germany or something, right? So 3M is a global brand. And look at all these different cage codes, guys. A lot of different cage codes here. This page size is only for 25 results. Let me open up the page size a little bit and kind of scroll down so you can kind of see. You got 3M France. You got, the DLA is just not about the United States. The DLA is servicing the warfighter globally. So the U.S. government has operations in France and Germany, throughout Europe and Africa and Asia. And so there may be opportunities that you may be looking to support the DLA, some of their DLA distribution centers on a global level. Again, NATO nations, the DLA wants your business. If you are in a NATO nation, because I see my analytics, I know folks are looking at my content. Matter of fact, let me look at this real quick here. I just want to just pull up my analytics and my audience. And I am looking in the past 48 hours. Looks like I've had folks from the UAE, from the United Arab Emirates chiming in, taking a look at what the DLA Guru is cooking, as well as Denmark. There are manufacturers all throughout Denmark, guys. These are NATO nations, that you are able to connect, get your UEI, get your cage code, and do business with the DLA. All right. And so here's a OEM that the DLA is looking to buy. All right. So bunch of cage codes as you can scroll down here. And let's say for Eric, he put in there 3M. Let's say you're interested in this particular. I'm just going to just throw this cage code on the screen here. I'm just clicking on the 53387. You see that there's a branch of 3M that's in Austin, Texas. Guess what? They got a phone number there. 3M is huge, guys. So, I mean, they got branches all over the place, man. But not a lot of information about this particular branch, but just the fact that 3M probably has, I would probably think 3M has over 50 cage codes, that represents their company at different levels. But this software, guys, is so cool also. And I'm waiting for my Brigadier Generals and my Patreon members to join me over here in StreamYard. If you guys are just chiming in and you're like, DLA Guru, how do we connect with you? You connect by going to the Community Forum tab. And there is a StreamYard link only for the eyes of Brigadier Generals here on YouTube and for my Patreon community. If you are a Patreon member, look at the Community Forum tab. There's a link. Click that link. It'll bring you up here in StreamYard. And you'll be in my waiting room. I can see you when you pop in here. Once I get 2 or 3 Patreon and or Brigadier Generals in my waiting room, we will be going incognito and being able to do anything and everything related to what you guys have to talk with me. You came up and mic up with me over here in StreamYard. So just want to let you know that that's what's going on. And if you are one of the 6 watchers today and you have a DLA solicitation that is hot and heavy, you really don't know what to do, feel free. I think I have it posted in the chat here at the top. There's a link for you to join as a Brigadier General. Today is your day. I have bi-monthly live streams where we can come up and mic up for 2 hours to talk anything and everything related to the DLA. So again, thank you, Reginald. Thank you, Eric, for joining up as a member, but you guys are not Brigadier General members. But hey, you got to start where you can start. There's plenty of content, plenty of videos that are designated just to that membership level. But the Brigadier General, that is the platinum level of being able to get all that relevant information where I just pop off my hat, open up my mind and pour it into yours as it relates to what you specifically are keeping you up at night related to your journey with the DLA. Now, back to this. I want to do a duplicate tab. Let me go ahead and pull up Opportunity Manager. I just want to kind of give you another idea of the power of this tool and how researching OEMs, working with agencies you're interested in is so powerful. So we're just going to type the word 3M in here. And what this is going to do is going to pull up solicitations, yes, that are linked back to 3M products that the DLA is actively buying. Just by doing a keyword search on 3M, you get to see that the DLA is buying adhesives made by 3M. They're buying surgical drapes made by 3M because 3M, I mean, they make all kinds of stuff. They make medical products, they make commercial products, they make military products, they make all kinds of stuff. And the DLA buys 3M products, guys. Here's some kind of protective tape. There's strip plastic. And they're buying materials, raw material. They're buying all kind of things that are made by 3M. As you guys know, 3M makes masks. They make safety. They make PPE equipment. They make all that kind of stuff. And you can see here. Here's some luminous tape. 381 pieces that the DLA is buying. Today's live stream is not to dive into exactly how to go out these solicitations, but it's more of showing you powerful research tools that you can use in order to know what OEMs are selling to what agencies care about those OEM products. All right. So researching OEMs, working with agencies you're interested in is paramount in order to hit the ground running for success, because you don't want to knock on every single manufacturer's door. You want to know if there's a demand for that manufacturer so that you can properly align your company to support them from a subcontracting basis and or getting a dealer account where you can buy wholesale for resale purposes. All right. Tip number 2, highlight your niche expertise. All right. That complements the vendor's offerings. This is very, very important because if you knock on a manufacturer's door and you're saying, hey, I do everything, they're going to close the door. All right. But if you knock on a manufacturer's door and say, hey, you know what? My niche is this. I'm really, really good at contract management. I'm really, really good at mil-spec packaging and labeling. I'm really, really good at sourcing opportunities. Hey, I'm really, really good at being a service-enabled veteran-owned company, woman-owned business, Hub Zone, 8A. Really, really good at making sure I keep my credentials live and in full effect and making sure that you are credible. Knock on the door and offer them an offering. Just find out what that OEM may need. All right. So research is paramount. And hey, if you guys need a little help with that, you want to do a one-on-one consult with yours truly, the DLA Guru, trust me, guys, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I can definitely give you some nuggets that may empower you and 10x your business and open up a door that you may not have known how to open it up, because there are many, many doors that I've knocked on, and I can tell you how to do it and how not to do it. All right. So you want to highlight your niche expertise that complements the vendor's offerings. Present that, my friends, will help. I'm willing to bet money it's going to help you to partner with original equipment manufacturers, and especially tier 1 master distributors, like companies like the Grangers of the world, the Walmarts of the world. Those are tier 1 master distributors on a national level. So, it's great. And hey, guess what? You can find tier 1 master distributors on a regional level as well. Some of those big box master distributors sometimes it's, those guys are real corporate. Sometimes it's hard to connect with them. Sometimes they say talk to the hand, not to the face. So you got to find another way to work around, So there are a lot of roadblocks that are there, but that doesn't mean that you just stop. You have to have a passion for being part of the supply chain, because if you have the passion, you don't give up, opportunities will present themselves. And when opportunities knock, you'll be positioned and be able to capitalize on those opportunities when they come your way. All right. So fantastic there. Before moving on to number 3 technique, do I have any other questions that you guys want to throw in the chat? So now's the time to drop it in there. And if you love it what the DLA Guru is cooking, throw a fire emoji, some hearts and things of that nature. I love all that kind of stuff. The engagement just kind of keeps me going. I'm really pumped about the new members we got today. So fantastic to you guys. Thanks again, Eric. Thanks again, Reginald. Really, really appreciate it. All right, no new comments are in the chat there, so let me go ahead and move on. Number 3, the number 3 of my top 3 techniques to increase your vendor base. You want to utilize online networking platforms and procurement portals. Now you may say, what does that mean? DLA Guru, what is an online networking platform? Online networking platforms such as LinkedIn is a perfect ecosystem to connect with OEM and agency decision makers. I stress LinkedIn like you wouldn't believe. LinkedIn is just, they sleep on LinkedIn. I don't know why, LinkedIn is not as sexy. It's not like it's as cool as the Instagrams and the TikToks of the world. But guess what? LinkedIn shouldn't be, because it's about the business. When you go on LinkedIn, it's for professionals. This is where you find the decision makers with OEMs. This is where you find the top level vice presidents and marketing managers, and just the leadership of the 3M company, of Cummins, of DuPont, and all these bigger manufacturers that do a lot of business with the U.S. military. LinkedIn is the place to be. Now, LinkedIn is free. You can literally log on to LinkedIn, create a profile, but you want to spend a little time making sure that your profile doesn't look like, I don't know if you guys remember back in the day when the internet was first evolving, and we had those little social websites that would pop up. There was one in particular. It popped in my head and popped right back out of it. But I never actually had one, but it was one of those sites where you kind of had your profile, and it's now the modern day Instagram. You want to make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to speed. You want to have a picture. You want to show your pearly whites. You want to have some credentials, your educational background, information about your business. If you have a CV and or resume, you want to upload that and have that be readily available and clickable, because people in the business community, they want to see who you are. They want to fact check you. If you can also reach out to other business colleagues that may have LinkedIn profiles and ask them to do an endorsement, because those endorsements mean something. Folks in the LinkedIn space, they can be a little snobby, but for good reason, because we want to make sure, they want to make sure, I should say, the LinkedIn community wants to make sure that you are not gaming things, that you are really an asset and not a liability to the progress in the business, networking, the business consulting, the business development sector of, the supply chain. So that's what's really important about LinkedIn. Now, I don't provide LinkedIn services as in kind of helping I just say, hey, take a look at my LinkedIn profile. You can find me, QB Hendricks, MBA, on LinkedIn. That can kind of give you an idea of what a LinkedIn profile should look like. I'm not going to say I'm killing the game when it comes to connects on LinkedIn. I don't have a really wide web of contacts, but the contacts that I do have on LinkedIn they're heavy hitters. So anyway, take a look at what I've done on LinkedIn, and they can probably give you a little bit of how you can set up your profile on LinkedIn as well. So you want to utilize these online platforms, right? Also, procurement portals such as DIBBS, SAM.gov, and the dynamic small business search database tool. These 3 online procurement portals are so paramount. And guess what, guys? They're free. We talk about it all throughout my channel. So if you're interested in learning more about DIBBS, SAM.gov, the Dynamic Search Business Tool, also known as DSBS, hey, shoot me an email. Let me go ahead and put me up on the screen here. Shoot me an email. Let's do a consult, guys. Let's talk a little bit more about my understanding of these tools and how it may apply to your business if you're new to government contracting. You can shoot me an email at fed.contracting@nmsupply.com. Real easy to catch up with me. That email comes, it's generic, but it comes to me, yours truly, DLA Guru. I take a look at what you're talking about, and then I'll give you some options of how you can connect with me, how I can maybe help to empower and inspire you for success with the DLA and government contracting at large. All right. Also, these tools, they provide access. Right. When I mean those tools, I mean DIBBS, SAM.gov, as well as DSBS. They provide access to government contract opportunities and enable businesses to connect with contracting officers. And guess what? OEMs via email and or phone. DSBS, the Dynamic Small Business Search Database tool, is a very, very powerful tool. You guys may say, hey, DLA Guru, show us that tool. We're new to government contract. We have no idea what that looks like. Okay, one, SAM.gov. This is SAM.gov. You can come in here and log in, SAM.gov. This is where you go and get your UEI and get your cage code and all that good stuff set up there, right? Also, the Small Business Search Database tool. Let me find that for you. I think I have it already set up in here. Yes, we got it right here for you. Let me go ahead and load that up for those of you in the back. Very, very important tool. Very important, because every single small business that's registered with the SBA is in this database. All right. And not only is every small business, guess what? There are OEMs that are small businesses as well. There are mom and pop manufacturing companies that if you are interested in linking with them and are brands, or you can find a lot of nuggets using the Small Business Dynamic Search tool. All right. Very, very important tool. Let me go ahead and drop this in the chat there for you guys, because, you know, DLA Guru is always providing you with plenty of nuggets and, you know, pointers and gems and how you get it done. The reason why this tool is so important, because if you find out that the company has a cage code, and even if they don't have a cage code, you can literally use this tool to search by a company's name too. But I typically like to search by, let me make that a little bigger for those in the back. When companies have a cage code, a UEI, this is always great because you already know that these companies have a demand within, you know, the federal government, right? Because either they have larger contracts or they have some contracts. But this is all about if you have a socioeconomic distinction and you're interested in connecting with these companies, by putting in their information here, you literally will find out who the owner of the company is. 9 times out of 10, you're going to find the owner's name, first and last name, their direct phone number, and their direct email address, where you will be able to connect directly with decision makers within those organizations. That's why the Small Business Dynamic Search tool is so important. Highly recommend you click the link that I put it in the chat there, bookmark that, because that's going to help to 10x your business's opportunities as a technique to increase your vendor base. All right. Very, very important. Very, very, very important. These online tools provide you with just enough contact information. Again, name, email address, phone number, for you to share your company capability statement, potentially receive targeted bid notifications, and win government contracts. Now, not through the Small Business Dynamic Search tool per se, but if you're going through DIBBS and SAM.gov. All right, so this is kind of like talking like out of both sides of my mouth as it relates to OEMs on one side and government procurement agents on the other. But by connecting with these types of sites is how you can kind of start to get the ball rolling and start to get access to what the government is looking to buy and the vendors that are their players within that marketplace. All right. Hey, Eric, hopefully this has kind of answered some of those questions. That question that you had earlier, hopefully it is. I see a thumbs up that you put there. Not sure if that thumbs up is, that thumbs up came a little later, but hopefully I'm answering your question there, brother Eric. Let's see here. He is putting up a comment there now. He says, Thanks for the information. My niche is wound care supplies and finding vendors. Yes, man, listen, wound care is fantastic. DLA Troop Support is your customer, because within DLA Troop Support, you're going to have DLA Medical. DLA Medical is all about servicing the warfighter, right? So within DLA Medical, that command, Eric, hey, by the way, connect with me, man, because I believe, helping you understand how to get connected to DLA Medical is going to be paramount for what you're all about, because niches are great. My training is all about start with a niche and then expand from there. So kudos to you. We have that niche with wound care supplies, but using the software that I just showcased, the Intertech Inform software, will definitely help you to understand what the federal supply classes, the FSC codes are that link back to wound care. As a matter of fact, hey, you know what? The DLA Guru is always just teaching on the fly. I don't have any of my brigadier generals and our Patreon members over here in the waiting room. Got 7 concurrent viewers. Because people are kind of popping in and popping out. So if I have a brigadier general and or a Patreon member, you can find the link to StreamYard, the unique link to today's training in the community forum tab and or the community forum tab here on YouTube and the community forum tab on Patreon. That's where you can find the link that'll get you over here to yours truly, the DLA Guru, and we can talk anything and everything related to what's keeping you up at night as you're pursuing DLA contracting opportunities. All right. So back to Eric. So you said wound. You have wound care. All right. I'm just gonna put the word wound. All right. Let me just do a quick search for that item name. All right. So we got some wound resistors. That's probably not what you're looking for. Let's see. Maybe bandage. Let's put bandage. 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 I'm an engineer. Hopefully I spelled bandage correct. Oh, I did. Okay, great. All right, so gauze. So this is some things that, Eric, may come in handy for you as well, because if you're into wound care, these are national stock numbers that are already linked to OEMs and or tier 1 distributors. All right, so a lot of times tier 1 distributors are also recognized as kind of like a quasi OEM by the DLA. All right. And keep in mind, the DLA manages this federal database of national stock numbers. All right. But that really flows down from the U.S. military. The U.S. military is the customer. They are the ones that say, we want a national stock number assigned to this particular product. And the DLA manages that NSN for the warfighter. So keep that in mind. The DLA does not generate national stock numbers. That flows down from the actual U.S. military. All right. So keep that in mind. Hey, that's a nugget. That's a gem. All right. So back to you, brother Eric. So you can see there's a lot of different brands in the gauze, bandage, and wound care type genre of products. You got Covidian, you got Darnex, you got Becton. I mean, these names probably ring a bell to you. And you got Scuzzy Holdings in there. Yes, Scuzzy, there they are. But let's see here. We got, some areas that I really like too, whenever you see the DLA, the directorate, a lot of times these are manufacturing opportunities because they're not linked directly to an OEM. It's a military specification. So, brother Eric, if you have access to OEMs that can make wound care supplies, finding out if there are opportunities for military specifications of particular wound products is paramount for your business, because being able to get the specs and find an OEM that can build to that spec and then be able to offer that to the DLA when the DLA comes a calling will be paramount. But back to my point about the FSC codes, you'll see on screen here that for your wound care, and hopefully you do know this, brother Eric, 6510 is an FSC code that I highly recommend you do a little research behind, because it looks like there are national stock numbers that are in the database. Now, there probably more than just 6510. This particular page is just, here's 6532. But this some kind of bandage cover, canvas bandage. I'm not sure exactly that, but I would say 6510. Start there, and then you branch out from there as it relates to opportunities. And let's go ahead and just put that FSC code 6510 in here and see how much of wound care supplies the DLA may or may not be buying right now. All right, so you can kind of see here that particular FSC code 6510. There are active national stock numbers right now that are on DIBBS. These little flags are color coded to let you know that these are viable solicitations that are actively out there on DIBBS right now. All right, here's one for 100. And again, today is not about DIBBS today, but because Brother Eric is being engaging with yours truly, the DLA Guru, I want to go ahead and give him a little love as it relates to this. I'm just going to log into DIBBS real quick, Eric, and I'm just going to drop in this particular opportunity that's currently hot and heavy on DIBBS. Oh, that's a solicitation number. I'm sorry. I'm going to drop in the solicitation number there, and you can see that this is a fast pay on this is unrestricted procurement. So here's one where the DLA is looking to buy 100 of these particular wound dressing products. Yeah, let me click on this NSN real quick here, and it's telling you the approved source data. They're saying that, hey, we want these particular products to be manufactured by Altitude Technologies or Combat Medical Systems. All right. Now, there is no set-aside status on this one, so this may not be one that's be paramount for you, Eric, because these manufacturers may be bidding. More than likely, these guys are going to be bidding this direct. Here, 1 second. I'm curious to see if these Altitude or Combat Medical Systems has won this in the past. So this is just part of my training programs. Eric will give you some toolage of how you can go about finding opportunities. Because the thing about the federal government, they're not going to just give them to you. You got to find that. It's like you got to go digging for gold. You got to go know where to dig. You got to know how to dig. You got to have the right tools to dig. You got to know if you dig with dynamite, you dig with pickaxes. You got to kind of know how to do that. And that just comes from coaching and trial and error of how you get that done, man. But here I'm looking at procurement history real quick. And I want to see if the OEMs of record, that is the approved sources, are winning this one. And guess what? They're not. They're not even bidding this up direct. So these guys, Combat Medical Systems, here they are. So it looks like they were winning it back in 2023. And SCSI comes in and kind of takes up over a little bit. And then we got 6x8 Medical Solutions and SCSI. So they're kind of going toe-to-toe. But guess what? Just a handful of vendors that are winning this particular opportunity. Now, you may say, hey, that's not a lot of money. Contracts are small contracts. Yeah, small contracts, man. But hey, it's business, So the idea is get 100 of the contracts. You just only do one of the contracts, get 100 of them. Get involved and know what the DLA is looking to buy, especially within your niche. So kudos to you. That's just, something from yours truly, the DLA Guru, a little nugget, man. Hopefully that kind of gives you some inspiration of how you can go about that. But again, leveraging a lot of the techniques today, guys and gals, will help to enhance your networking efforts. It definitely will. It will increase your visibility in the government contractor sector, and it will improve your chances of winning contracts. It will definitely improve your chances of winning contracts by employing my top 3 techniques. Of course, I want to give you a tip. I always leave you a couple of tips. So in utilizing online networking platforms and procurement portals, as I've demonstrated, you want to also keep your SAM.gov and your dynamic small business search profile through the SBA updated and relevant. And if you need some help on how to keep those updated, feel free to reach out to your PTAC and or Apex Accelerator. If you guys are connected with your Apex Accelerator, you're like, I don't know exactly how to do that. Or reach out to me, yours truly, the DLA Guru, because I can provide you with some training as it relates to keeping those profiles up to date too and relevant, because it's really, really important to make sure that those don't get stale and you look like you're not an active vendor, because optics do matter with the federal government. Don't think that optics don't matter. They're going to be looking at your profile and see the last time you've registered, last time you've made an update, because they're going to say this is a viable government contractor that's breathing. Your chest is expanding and contracting and expanding, so you're breathing, you're living in this ecosystem. So keeping your profiles up to date. And again, that's not an every month thing. I mean, as long as you're every 6 to 8 months that you're going in and updating your profile so that it gives you a nice refresh and gives you a timestamp is highly recommended. As you guys know, with SAM.gov, I believe you have to update your profile annually with SAM.gov in order for it not to expire and for you to be kicked off the platform. So updating is very important when it comes to federal contracting. So that is definitely a great tip towards the top 3 techniques to increase your vendor base. And last but not least, you want to engage with forums and online groups. Guess what? Like here, yours truly, the DLA vendor network that I've created. You want to engage with these online groups that content creators like myself are creating for you guys to thrive in and to meet and network. This is where government contractors like yourself and procurement officials are active. I believe I last heard that Kizzy Parks on her Facebook page, again, she was at the VIT Summit. She did a fantastic presentation. Kudos to you, Kizzy, for the presentation in front of a huge audience of folks teaching everyone about government contracting from the services side. She had mentioned that her Facebook page, her Facebook group is free. I think it's like 20,000 folks strong, but it's also, it has spackled in there are government procurement agents that are interacting with that community. Guess what, guys? I'm working to create a similar community for DLA, for products over on LinkedIn. Some of my videos, you hear me talking about my DLA vendor network on LinkedIn. It's by invite only. I'm a LinkedIn guy. I'm not much of a Facebook guy. I'm a LinkedIn guy. I've been a part of LinkedIn since I was in corporate America. And now that I'm self-employed and all that good stuff, I recommend LinkedIn as a excellent ecosystem for you guys to hobnob and to rub shoulders with folks. Yes, DLA Guru, I'm always delivering. I will give you the link in the chat of how you can find me over in LinkedIn. Doesn't cost you anything to join the LinkedIn group, but I'm not accepting any and everybody. All right. So in order to be a part of my LinkedIn community, I personally check every single profile that applies to join me over in LinkedIn. And if you do not have what I think it takes to be a viable participant in my DLA vendor network over in LinkedIn, I will not accept you. So keep in mind, you want to have a great profile because everyone in that community is looking at profiles and understanding who has the receipts. And no one wants to waste their time. They want to have viable connections that can help bring some coins in your pocket. All right. But they're in the chat there. Let me see if I can pin this guy. I can never pin this whenever, but anyway, so I put it on screen. But in the chat, I just dropped it in the chat there. Whenever well, you know what, I can pin it over here in YouTube. Yeah, no, it's not letting me pin. All right, so anyway, it's in the chat there. Feel free to click that link, meet me over here in LinkedIn, and just request to join my DLA vendor network. It's growing. I think we have a little over 50 members in the DLA vendor network now. My plan is to get to 100 members strong before I begin marketing to government procurement agents to let them know that, hey, we have a viable community of DLA vendors that are interested in communicating with DLA procurement agents, whether it be with the Small Business Programs Office or direct contract officers, if the FAR allows it. I'm not exactly sure yet. But I know through the small business offices for the different commands, they will be interacting in that ecosystem that I'm creating. But I want it to be 100 members strong of DLA vendors who are interested in supporting the warfighter by way of the Defense Logistics Agency. All right. So you want to engage in these forums, online communities, where government contractors like yourself, as well as procurement officials, are active. This is what this is all about. Kizzy Parks is creating a great ecosystem for that type of work to be done from the service side. I'm creating a great ecosystem for that type of work for products. The DLA Guru. I'm a new kid on the block, but I got a lot of ideas, and I want to empower and inspire each and every one of you guys for your piece of the pie with the DLA. All right, so you got to get involved. All right, and let's see here. We got another comment just popped up. Chris Grabble. Chris Grabble. Sorry, Chris, if I mispronounced your name. And you're also a member. What's up, Chris? Welcome. You got here a little late. Watch the replay. Yes, fantastic. Hey, Chris, let you know, man, when I first got started today, first 30 seconds was 30, 40 seconds, maybe a couple of minutes. I'm talking into a mic that wasn't even turned on, man. I had refreshed my computer, had an update installed, and when I went live, it's a little late, and I'm kind of scrambling, forgot to hit the mic. So, pardon my dust, the DLA guru. Yeah, man, I'm 100% authentic, man. I'm just building while I fly it. So, just keep in mind, you may not hear me for the first minute or so, but then I finally turn the mic on, and then I'm delivering value. All right. So thank you, Chris. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. No problem at all, Chris. And thanks again for being a member. Yes, I really appreciate truly the support you guys provided me with the channel. As you see, I'm always showing up and providing value. Hopefully, you guys really enjoyed today's presentation. A lot of folks say, "Hey, DLA Guru, yeah, I'm interested. I got all these different options, opportunities for coaches and things." And you're trying to figure out the DLA vendor network is right for you. Being a part of the DLA is right for you. Guess what, guys? I also offer a 15-minute pre-screening phone call where you can cam up and mic up with yours truly, the DLA Guru. Well, I take it back. Not cam up and mic up. You can get on the phone with me, all right? And it's a 15-minute pre-screening phone call where we can talk anything related to your DLA journey, where you are within your business, where you are within your journey. If you think that DLA be a great customer, or if you're not really positioned for it, if you require additional training, what type of support you require. That 15-minute pre-screening phone call, a lot of folks are taking advantage of it, and I think people are really getting to know me a little bit better, and get to know you a little bit better. And believe you me, guys, I will not pander. If I feel like, hey, no, you need to go back to school. You need to do this first. You need to do that first. Or you just don't have the right mindset, I'm going to let you know if I don't think you have the right mindset, because government contracting is not an easy journey. It is not easy. Nothing. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it, but it becomes easy when you have the right coaching and the right community and the right support system behind you, and you have the right mindset. You have to have a great mindset of, hey, if I don't get it today, I'll get it tomorrow. Because you just keep digging at it, you keep moving towards a goal, but you want to do it in a correct format in order for you not to skin your knee and bump your head. That's the key to coaching. All right, so that's what the 15-minute pre-screening phone call will be all about. And for all my members today, we got Brother Eric, we got Brother Reginald, and we got Brother Chris in the building. They are members of my YouTube channel. They are receiving all that great value, whether it be my daily posts. It's not daily, but I try to post at least 3 or 4 times a week where I'm providing you with information about what's happening with the DLA, or any type of training opportunities, or just any nuggets that kind of come my way. I release that to my community, my membership community, and as well for those of you who are part of my Brigadier General and our Patreon community. You invest a little bit more, you get a lot more. All right. So today is one of my pre-scheduled bi-monthly live streams for my Brigadier General members. So I highly recommend you take a look at the community, at the membership levels that I currently offer, and get in where you fit in, where you are in your journey, and just get involved. This is the key to being successful with not only the DLA, but also government contracting. Yes, thanks again for watching. Thanks for watching. I really love that I had, got 9 concurrent viewers and 11 likes. That's fantastic. I really appreciate the likes, the love, the engagement. We had some comments in the chat there below today. Not a lot of questions as it relates to, here, wait a minute. I've got another comment that comes on my screen. He says, I'm trying to make the link. Did you try to make the link work? Okay, so let me just find out. Someone else told me that they were having some difficulty with that link. I'm just going to just give you guys a test drive on the link real quick on my end. Let's see here. Where is that at? I don't know why I'm not finding my link here. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, okay, here. 1 second here. I just thought I saw the link, and then the link just disappeared. Okay, there it is. All right. I got it back. All right, so let's put the link on screen here. All right, when I just click the LinkedIn groups, and I think what it's going to do, Now I may be signed into LinkedIn. I'm not sure. I'm gonna figure this out in a second, but it's like loaded. It's thinking right now. But yeah, I know that. Okay. I finally figured out how to find it on my own. Okay, cool. All right, so all right, Chris says he's finally figured out how to find it on his own. Yeah, it looks like it's still kind of loading on my end. I think once you click the link and then you have to be able to sign in and that kind of thing, and then that'll get you into the LA Vendor Network there. Let me see here. I'm gonna go ahead and sign in real quick to see. Man, it's sending me all kind of stuff. I gotta do the security settings and whatnot. But yeah, Chris, yeah, once you're able to connect in there, um, you can request to join us over in our LinkedIn community. And again, this is very ground floor. Again, I'm looking for 100 good men and women to be a part of my DLA vendor network at the base. And man, this is going to be a lot coming for the early adopters of what we're trying to build. You guys will be part of the ground floor of this community that's only going to get greater as time goes on and the word gets out about the world's largest customer, the Defense Logistics Agency. And you guys will be in the right position to capitalize on all that great information and opportunities that are going to be coming down the pipe as a result. But again, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the engagement. If you're still interested in joining me at the Brigadier General level, feel free. I have it pinned in the comment section today. Click that link, upgrade your membership, or come in as a member, as a Brigadier General member, because I will be here until 1 o'clock today. So it's 12:23 my time, Central time here in Dallas. I don't have anyone in the waiting room, so maybe we have some Brigadier Generals and Patreon members that are kind of coming a little late. But I will be over here in StreamYard hanging out until around 1 o'clock. So feel free to drop in if you want to drop in, and we can talk a little bit about the DLA. Keep in mind, I have a fantastic catalog of pre-recorded videos that are for members only at the Brigadier General level. So your investment will give you even more nuggets of trainings that we've done in the past with other Brigadier Generals that you will definitely get some nuggets of how you hit the ground running to be successful with DLA. And if you're interested in a contracted consult with me, yours truly, DLA Guru, feel free to drop me an email. Send me an email, fed.contract@innersupply.com. This is where you can connect with me, and I can say, hey, yeah, this is how we can connect on a one-on-one consult, and we can talk anything, everything related to the DLA. That's another way you can get in contact with me. All right, Chris says, I was signed in, the link you posted does not go to your group. It took me to my subscribed groups. There's probably another version of the link. Really? All right, so that's the first I've heard of that. Let me look at that again, because LinkedIn, they do some interesting things when it comes to these groups, but that is my group number though. I wonder why that's. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening, Chris, because hey, I will look into that a little further, Chris, and thank you for that. And what I'll do is update, and if you're interested in getting the link, as I kind of figure it out, because maybe LinkedIn has changed something that I was unaware of. But yeah, if you're on LinkedIn itself, just look for DLA Vendor Network. You can search for that, and you should be able to find my group based off just the DLA Vendor Network nomenclature. Sorry, I'm just gonna put it there in the chat. DLA Vendor. I am the only content creator with the DLA Vendor Network. Let me go ahead and spell it out here. I'll say find me on LinkedIn under the DLA Vendor Network. All right, cool. Try that, and that might also help you to connect with me on LinkedIn as well. And I'll look into what you just mentioned there on the screen there, Chris, just to make sure that I may have to update something on my end there. All right, cool. And Erwin, brother Aaron says, another great stream. Thank you again for the feedback. I really appreciate that. And hey, man, I got more great streams to come. Trust me, I got a lot up here to give you guys for success and empower you for success with the DLA. And there's even more through my training programs as well. So feel free to reach out to me, get in where you fit in, And I will see you guys at the top.